Hello, lovely humans. Welcome back to the vlog. In this video, I want to read at least 2 books because I've got a lot of library books piling up and I've got even more to pick up today. Let me update you on the book that I just finished yesterday morning. I read this for a public in-person book club that I'm going to for the first time tonight. And this is A Dawn of Onyx by Kate Golden. I gave this 3 stars. It wasn't bad, it wasn't good. It was kind of just average as far as romantasy goes. This is about a healer who is taken as an indentured servant by an enemy kingdom to pay for her brother's crimes. I don't know if it was marketed like this, but I would say that this is inspired by Beauty and the Beast. If you are someone who enjoys Beauty and the Beast or Hades and Persephone retellings, I would suggest skipping this and maybe reading The North Wind by Alexandria Warwick instead. I didn't have strong feelings either way with this book, but I do want to vent to you guys just a little bit, especially before I go to the book club tonight. I can like an age gap, and this didn't bother me until the very end. And in the epilogue, we get the perspective of the love interest when he first meets the main character. But, he, calls her a girl several times, and he even thinks to himself, how naive she is. And it's, not even 6 months later, they are already, romantically involved, and that just felt kind of gross to me. I can also like power imbalances, as long as they're, acknowledged. The dynamic in here is kind of, prisoner, captor, peasant with an enemy king. I don't recall a single time where any character brings up questions or concerns about this. I think there was definitely potential in the world building. It wasn't as explored as I would have liked. I will cut it some slack though, because it is the first book in a trilogy, so I'm presuming that that's something further explored in later books. I'll never know though, because I am not continuing on in this series. On to the book that I'm currently reading. This is The Forest King's Daughter by Elly Blake. I am only 50 pages into this, but I have this tiny hope that this will be my first 5-star read of the year. In this, there are 2 groups of people. I believe it's all different species of fae, but one group lives in the forest and the other group lives below ground in these ancient catacombs. Our main character Cassia is a forest princess, and when she was younger, she would wander into the forest to meet her secret friend who was a noble from the underground group. And in his culture, it's customary to give your friends gifts to solidify the friendship. And so on their 3rd meeting, he gives her this ring that he stole from his mother. But it turns out that this ring is actually some sort of ancient weapon that can be used to attack his own people. And basically their friendship starts a war between both groups. I'm really enjoying the writing style in this, although I will say it might be more enjoyable because of the book that I just read. So I guess as we get farther along in the book, we'll see if I actually do really like it. I also really appreciate that the writing so far, the storytelling has been very effective in giving us history, letting us see character dynamics, introducing us to the world. This world has just been so easy to fall into. Okay, so I finished The Forest King's Daughter. It was not a 5-star read, unfortunately, but I still thought it was good. I gave it 3.5 stars. I really enjoyed the world in this. There's a lot of magic, different creatures and species. There's a sentient forest. And it sucks that I liked it so much because I decided that I'm not continuing on in the series. I really think this book would have benefited from a dual POV, with one of them being the love interest, not only because he's from like the opposing group, but the two groups are so different. They've got different species, different cultures, and just where they live, like the aesthetics of it and the lifestyles are so contrasting. I think it's just a matter of personal preference. But if you gave me the choice of like seeing a perspective from someone who lives in a kingdom in a forest versus someone who lives underground in ancient catacombs, I'm gonna pick this one. This one is so much more unique, and I don't know, it's just more interesting to me, but that could just be a personal thing. The thing that really doomed this book for me was the pacing. I thought there was some really interesting choices made. Like the pacing was just like very up and down, and I don't know what the author was trying to achieve by that. Immediately, we are thrown into the main conflict, and then soon after that, our main character and the love interest kind of go off on like a little side quest. But they're kind of like isolated, like off in their own little world. And I actually really loved that part. There's kind of like a found family, found home feeling with it. The romantic tension is at its peak there, and it is so good. There are two scenes that were just like perfection. And if the whole book had been like that, I think I really would have liked it. They do eventually rejoin the main plot and the other characters, and that's when tension is building, stakes are rising, crazy, crazy things are happening, okay? And so you really feel this build up, okay? And then, for whatever reason, our main character goes off by herself again, isolates herself from everything and everyone, and like all of the tension and like the anticipation for the like plot, it just plummets. Like, I don't know why. Like, I know why in the book, but as far as like storytelling goes, it was just such a deep dip that it was really hard for me to come back out of that. It was almost a struggle to want to continue this book. This is my slightly overwhelming stack of library books, and I need to decide what I'm reading next. I had to buy my own copy of this for book club because my hold didn't come in time, so I can return this. For a little while, I've been considering seeing if middle grade is something that I would enjoy, and this was recommended to me. The Empress. I think this one incorporates tarot. This is due next week. This is also due next week. And I think I've got some time with the rest, except this. I never got around to picking this up, but it's overdue now, so I need to return it. These are both due on Friday, but I'm not really feeling drawn to either one, so I think I'm gonna read the first sentence of each and then decide which one I'm gonna read. Okay, so it's actually many days later. I never finished the vlog. I never made the Magnolia ginger snap cookies that I wanted to. It was just a really chaotic week, but I have to return these two books, and I did read the first chapter of each, and I decided not to read either of them. The Beast We Bury. The first chapter in this had an on-page, very detailed animal death, and I really did not enjoy it. I did read some reviews on Goodreads, and people said that that trigger does not get better, so this I will not be reading. I also read the first chapter of Where Shadows Bloom, and this was like a proper YA. This just felt way too young. In the first chapter, the main character is trying to prove to her mother that she's mature, so she runs away from home, and I don't know. I didn't really want to waste my time with it. So yeah, this vlog did not go as planned, but I hope you still enjoyed it, and thank you for watching.